My name is Preble McDaniel, and I've been a miniaturist for many, many years. Today, I'm going to show you about making glass for miniature using plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a bunch of different tools and stuff that I'm going to be using, and that way you'll kind of know you would need. I do have a um, page on my website that covers all of this, but it doesn't have a demo on it unless it's linked to the one I did last year. But the first thing I'm going to be using is plastic beads. These are, cheap plastic faceted beads. They come in different sizes. Um, I have some that are bigger than these, and then I think I even have some that are really smaller. So we're going to use those. I will be using a candle and the flame from the candle. The so it's two things about that. One, obviously, we should be very careful because we're dealing with flame. If you're dealing with matches, make sure you put out that match with some water, even if you after you blow it out. The second thing is that the plastic does give off a smell when you melt it. So be aware of that. You could have a fan going, not necessarily directly on your workplace, but in the area. And that way, the smell would not be so right around you. Open a window. If you've got birds, maybe you don't even do it. But anyways, so we're going to use that candle. I also took a piece of wire and bent it to shape. I'm not sure if it's the right height, so I may have to adjust it, but it's just bent so that this piece of aluminum foil will sit above it. I have tried doing this with the candle in a jar. The problem with that one is you can literally put the candle out by dropping the aluminum foil on it. So that's something to keep in mind. Doesn't mean you can't use a jar candle. It just means that, you need to figure out a way that, you can still have that air circulation because candles do require oxygen. So another type of plastic I'm going to be using is this stuff. You can see let me move this so it's not. Tried to focus this down so that we were closer to the work. This is called shrink film or shrinky dink. And certain types of plastic will do this. And as you can see here in this picture that they have, it went from this size to this, and it just shrank like more than half. So that's something to keep in mind. And what you can do with that plastic is you could punch it, but trust me, that's not easy to do. So cutting it is better. And I did go ahead and cut some pieces. We'll be using those in a minute. You can see what I've done is I've taken Sharpies and I've colored on these two pieces. And you could do like different colors. I've done like just draw a little line, a little wavy line, and another little wavy line. It'll be interesting to see what those look like. Something else I'll be using is cutters and this. So when you're working with heat, you need something to hold them with. That's what these are for, mostly. This is for cutting those beads. I did go ahead and cut some of those beads. You can see, and I'm going to use some tweezers here. You can see this bead is already cut. It's half a bead.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I've also already cut this one into a fourth of a bead.
What's the diameter of those beads?
Well, I can
Quarter of
actually,
an inch?
I'll tell you just a second. I actually have my caliper
Sorry.
here since I happen to have
Just can't
one.
imagine they would cut so well with that.
They kind of just break apart. So
Oh,
these look
true.
like they're 6 millimeter. They're actually coming out
Okay.
just under that, but 6 millimeter. Uh,
Okay.
I have some that are 8, and then I also have some I believe that are 4. Okay, so that's what those are.
Okay.
And other tools that I'm going to use besides the tweezers is these. And the reason for those is you can press into the melted plastic. So we'll see how those go. Scissors, obviously for cutting out that, that star, I had to do that. This is a lighter. And I think I've already showed you. Oh, well, no, I already showed you everything. I believe I've showed you everything that I'm going to be using. So we're going to start out. We're going to light this. Hopefully it doesn't burn up my phone since it's going to be right underneath. Uh,
Just don't put your phone on top of it.
yeah, it's not, it's not that close. It's about 6 inches. All right.
We could watch what shape your phone melts into.
Right.
How could we use
Okay.
that?
So I'm gonna put that little piece of aluminum foil on it. I'm watching to make sure it's not gonna put it out. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this red bead here and I'm gonna put it in the little holder thing. Let's see.
Mm.
Good. Maybe that's around, so it's my holder here.
Oh,
Give me some more room to shift. And that is, part of the trick of doing this is getting it where you want it. That one nice thing about the jar candle is you kind of, you know where you're going, but again, it'll put it out.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to watch this melt. It'll take it a minute or so here. And I am starting to see underneath it's very
It's
slightly.
melting. I could see it. Yeah.
Um, and you can move it around. I'm going to hold on to this. So you can move it around. See, it is melting. And I don't know if you can see it, but it is starting to put off some smoke.
Yeah.
The
Now,
other thing I did forget to show you is this is a hot pad. I'm going to lay that where I can press against it with my screwdrivers. I can put that away for now. We're almost melted. Give it some encouragement here.
we could cheer for it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Keep on.
It will stick to your tools, but not like it's not sticky.
Right.
Okay, so I think now I'm going to give it another few more seconds. And again, it could be because of the height. You get it too close and it will start to really burn and it'll turn dark, and so we don't want that. Okay, so let me slide that over so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it down in there and flip it and flip it. Okay, and then it cools off pretty quickly. You can pop it off and you can see I have just made a little bowl.
oh,
Hmm.
oh, wow.
Um, don't want to burn myself with candles over here on the side. But anyway, so that's a little bowl. It does have a little bit of flashing on it. You see that little edge to it right there?
Mm-hmm.
That usually, you can pop it off, or I can take it over to my candle and very carefully make it disappear.
Mm.
And that, just kind of finishes up. If it does, oop, I blew it out because the plastic caught on fire. And tell me if I'm not in view because I have a very small area because I tried to zoom in so you could see better.
No, you're fine.
I need to relight this.
You're very much in the right
Well,
view.
I am with this. It's the activity is not the melting is the easy part. Keeping it in the camera. I'm going to scoot that over so that I'm more likely to stay and also say be careful of my camera. Okay, I'm going to get another one and we're going to do this time I'm going to add one of those pieces to it. We're going to melt it. I should have been letting it do that. Since it does take it a minute. Here, let me lower this down.
You're going to melt it completely?
This. Yeah, I'm going to melt those two pieces together.
Okay.
And the little one will start melting first. I've already got some activity on the melting. And what it can do when you melt two colors together is it can lighten them up one versus the other, or it can, you know, depending on how you do it, it could be like two different colors mixed together. You don't really mix them so much as they're just and that's you can do that with this is probably not going to make a whole lot of difference, but you can see how I can manipulate this quite a lot. So for a bigger piece, and I could literally just leave this, let it cool, and then let me go ahead and just a tad. Oh, I'm off screen, of course. Okay, cool enough. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna pop it off. So now this one's kind of more flat. I didn't put as much dimension to the sides, but I've got that flashing on the edge right here. This time I'm not going to blow it out. And it didn't take nothing. I just barely put it over there and it kind of, but the other thing I can do is I can cut this. I could cut this in half right now. That's an easy way to cut it. The other thing about the beads is, let me take this piece. This piece. All right, so we're going to melt this one. And I'm going to have this second piece I'm going to do something with. I want that whole piece melted. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. Whoops. Jet, I need it hot. I'm going to take this. And I don't know if you can see, but I just pulled away from it. And the reason why I'm showing you that is, and I really see how it's flopping? This is how you could make a truly, I'm not saying it right, but a truly type glass.
Ah,
is, you know, you can, there.
To pull the glass.
And it'll harden up here. Okay, now I want it to stay. There we go. Can you see what I've done?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Cool.
I know that there's some glare with the. All right, let me take this off. There we go. See? Dadgummit. So that's, and especially doing it with multicolors, I think that's just, you know, fun way to play with this stuff. Okay, so now let's play with the shrink plastic. With it, and when I first started out doing this, I did withholding the beads. So that's another way you can do it. So let me do that. And yes, you can do this with the tweezers. It's just hard to do with your fingers. That's the only problem. And getting it the right height. It's already softened that side. Can you see how that bead is shiny and the facet's gone? It's already softened that side. So let me do that again. Take this. Only problem is your hands are gonna shake while you're letting it cool. That's the only issue I find with that one. But anyways, so that's another way you can play with the beads is by just holding it with tweezers. I do like the aluminum foil because I actually did my swap last year for national. I made they were smaller than this, but I made 3 bowls, and that was my swap, was 3 bowls that I made with these for 1/4" scale.
Cool.
Okay, so now let's play with our shrink plastic. And this is something, yeah, see how it just, I mean, it doesn't take nothing to make it start doing its thing. And I can go over here and play with it, however. But that's how you could make some shrink plastic art.
Ooh. You ever use the heat guns?
Yeah, that would be another way. I made some art in micro scale, as in 1/44. Where's my purple? Here it is. And see, I just made a bowl. Let me cool it off so I can put it in my hand. There's a little bowl.
sweet.
Oh, wow.
That, I mean, it's going to be thicker than maybe you want, so that's something to think about with the shrink art. But I mean, that's and you could theoretically even, you know, color a clear bead. Let's just do that for the fun of it, right?
Right. You do that.
I'm going to put some blue on it. And I'm sorry, I'm totally off screen. You're like, okay, she's putting blue on it. I'm just drawing that on. I'm gonna get another color. Just for the fun of it. Out of purple. Let me make that a little bit more. Right? Yeah. I'm gonna put this in my thing here and see what happens. Assume y'all can see that over there.
Mm-hmm.
I can slide it over if it's
No, it's fine.
okay. What I'm going to do, and you can do it, you can try different ways, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do like maybe make the bowl just to see, what happens with the colors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just pressing this down a little bit so that it's closer to the flame.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like I'm not right over the flame. I think the flame is actually right here somehow. No, it's starting to melt now. You can fold your foil so that it's a little more clear about where you're getting your heat. I just made this one tonight, just threw it together, so that's why it's not, maybe it's exact. All right, I'm going to take it off. Put it right here. I'm going to stick that in there.
Is that just a Phillips head screwdriver?
It is. Okay. And you don't have a lot of time when you're doing that. You can't roll it around. You really just have a few seconds. So there's with putting the color on it. And see, it kind of ended up in the middle. Let me pull it up a little higher. It's blurry to me. Here, let me move this over so I'm not putting my hand over it. There, I think maybe you can see the purple and the blue in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
And it's embedded. It's not like from the back, you can really see the color is inside it. As in it melted around it. So that's just different ways of doing some plastic, some glass from plastic. I believe I've showed you everything. So anybody have any questions?
One of the this is Kelly. One of the things I've done is I punched out regular shrinky dink paper with a
Mm-hmm.
small florally looking thing and then shrunk it.
Mm-hmm.
Be surprised how small you can get
Yeah.
with the little tiny things. And I use that as part of the flower for the twisted fairy tales, which is buried in my cabinet over there somewhere. But I use
Yeah.
those for
Sure.
flowers. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing about the shrinky dink that I don't like is it will thicken up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you could get a hold of some, I mean, there is a certain type of plastic lid. They're usually kind of thicker. They just there's once you know it, you'll you know you know.
Yeah,
It's like,
I
yeah.
think some of them from like the bakery goods that you get at like a gas station bakery or whatever.
yeah. I
I-
don't know. I mean, every place uses something different. So I mean, we've gotten like to me, it's usually a flat lid with just an edge, as opposed to ripples. Like it's not going to be like this.
Yeah, like the bottom of your container from the bakery or the top section.
It could be one of these. I don't know. Here, let's just try it.
Supposed to
And
be
that's another thing that you can use is plastic utensils. You can take those and melt them. And that gives you a color automatically. Or just it's just easier to see when it's not clear. I'm gonna give this one a try. Hard to move this stuff around with all this. All right, here we go. We're just gonna see what happens. All right, well, it's shrinking. It's melting. I don't know that it's shrinking. I don't, it's not staying clear.
Oh, yeah.
No, and it won't harden. That one is that I think there's like a
Oh,
recycled.
see, it's gummy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's solidified. I mean, it's hard now, but I mean, maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want a milk glass look. Now it didn't really. It did incorporate the color, but not the same as that one. Of course, we did kind of press it together, but anyway, so that's the thing to do is your plastic lids is give them a try, and if they shrink and they stay clear, then it's equal to shrink ink, and if not, it's going to look white. But I mean, it is something you could do. It's because when we do glass, we do all kinds of different things. So it has its place.
Thanks, Preble.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Preble.
much, Preble. We appreciate your time and your demonstration today.
You're welcome.